Stan Laurel was a comedic genius whose influence on film and comedy endures to this day. Best known as one half of the iconic duo Laurel and Hardy, Laurel's mastery of physical comedy, timing and character work made him a standout figure in early Hollywood. While his partner, Oliver Hardy, played the straight man with a pompous demeanour, Laurel's role as the innocent, childlike and bumbling counterpart brought a unique balance to their dynamic. Here are several key aspects of Laurel's genius. Master of visual comedy. Stan Laurel was a pioneer of visual comedy, perfecting the art of physical humour. His ability to convey emotion and tell a story without words through facial expressions, body language, and slapstick was remarkable. In an era when silent films dominated, Laurel's keen understanding of how to use his body to elicit laughter set him apart. Facial expressions. His wide-eyed, innocent gaze and often confused look became his trademark. A raised eyebrow or a tilt of the head could convey volumes, making even simple gestures hilarious. Subtle physicality. Unlike many slapstick comedians who relied on exaggerated movements, Laurel often used more understated yet meticulously planned physical gestures to create humour. Inventive use of props. Laurel had a remarkable ability to use props creatively in his comedy routines. Whether it was a piece of string, a hat, or even a simple door, he could turn ordinary objects into instruments of comedic gold. His famous gag of continuously pulling out his thumb from his hand or making a simple handshake evolve into an intricate dance of confusion was deceptively simple but always left audiences in stitches. Timing and precision. Comedy is all about timing, and Laurel was a master at it. He understood when to pause, when to react, and when to deliver the punchline. His impeccable sense of timing wasn't just confined to dialogue, but extended to every aspect of his physical movements. The pacing of a gag, how long a confused look would last, and the deliberate build-up to a fall or accident was all calculated for maximum comedic effect. The sad clown archetype. One of Laurel's greatest contributions to comedy was the sad clown persona. His character often had a sweet, naive quality, which made him incredibly endearing to audiences. While Hardy was blustery and frustrated, Laurel played the innocent fool who could never quite get things right, but maintained a sense of optimism and bewilderment. This added a layer of emotional depth to the comedy, as audiences rooted for Laurel despite his blunders. Behind-the-scenes creative control. What many don't know is that Laurel was the creative force behind many of the Laurel and Hardy films. Though he did not receive formal credit as a director or writer, he was heavily involved in shaping the duo's comedic style, writing many of the routines and even editing films. His attention to detail and insistence on perfection in rehearsals made him a meticulous craftsman of comedy. Innovative gags. Laurel constantly sought out new gags and ways to surprise the audience. He pushed the boundaries of what was possible in film, blending surreal moments with grounded physical humour. Self-directed comedy. Though the films often had directors, Laurel had significant input into how the scenes were filmed and structured, showcasing his brilliance not only in front of the camera, but also behind it. Laurel and Hardy's dynamic. A significant part of Stan Laurel's genius lay in how he crafted the chemistry with his partner, Oliver Hardy. They were a perfect contrast. Laurel, the meek and well-meaning fool, and Hardy, the pompous, short-tempered straight man. Laurel's ability to always find new ways to frustrate Hardy while maintaining an air of innocence kept their dynamic fresh and engaging. Their routines often revolved around simple misunderstandings or trivial tasks that spiraled out of control. Mutual dependence. Laurel's character often relied on Hardy's leadership, the comedic tension. Their give-and-take routine, with Hardy's exasperation and Laurel's confused, oblivious reactions, become a hallmark of their comedy. Timelessness. What makes Laurel's work so enduring is that his comedy remains timeless. His humour was based on universal human experiences, frustration, misunderstanding, and failure, but presented in ways that anyone, regardless of age or era, could understand. The timelessness is one of the reasons why Laurel's influence is still felt today in modern comedians, like Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean, who cite Laurel as a major inspiration. Influence on future comedians. Stan Laurel's work has influenced countless comedians over the decades. His ability to blend physical humour with an innocent, almost childlike persona set a blueprint for future generations. Comedy legends such as Charlie Chaplin, Jerry Lewis and Jim Carrey borrowed elements from Laurel's style. His understated approach to slapstick, where the comedy comes from a place of sincerity rather than exaggerated chaos, set him apart from other comedic actors of his time. In summary, Stan Laurel's genius lay in his unique ability to combine physical comedy with emotional depth, his attention to detail and his relentless pursuit of perfection in both the performances and the mechanics of his comedy. His contribution to the art of laughter remains one of the cornerstones of early cinematic history.
Over, where do we go from here?
Well, I'd like to go back to the town where I was born.
Where is that?
Way down south.
Are you from the South?
I sure am.
Well, fan my brow. I'm from the South.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shut my mouth. I'm from the South, too.
South of what, sir?
The South of London.
London.